For mama go Watotijay.
Hey Sultan Watotijay, Alagalo Watotijay, Go Watotijay, Sati before you understand coming Watotijay.
Viewers, welcome to another edition of the Watotijay Show. This is your presenter Momodou Jame, aka the Sultan. With me here is a special guest from the Gambia Ports Authority, and I'll create the opportunity to introduce himself. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jame. I appreciate your invitation to the Watotijay Show. My name is Momodou Sanyang, the Public Relations Officer, Gambia Ports Authority. I graduated from Nusrat High School. Then I proceed to the University of the Gambia, where I pursue Bachelor's of Science, Political Science, and Public Administration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanyang. Tell us, how is Gambia Ports Authority contributing to the development of the Gambia?
The role of the Gambia Ports Authority to the economy of the Gambia cannot be overemphasized. Looking at it from the perspective of trade, the import-export, and because when you talk about the seaport, we are specializing on international trade, because goods are coming from other parts of the world, coming into the country. As well, the Gambia also do their little export, to the outside world. 80% of the goods that are imported into this country comes to the port.
Comes through the ports. That's fine. That's one aspect.
So when you look at it, totally, the port alone is having an employment of up to more than 2,000 people, close to 3,000 staffs. These are all Gambians, because they only employ you if you are a Gambian. If you are making an application, the number one thing that is considered is your birth certificate. So you have to be a Gambian before you are considered as a staff of the port. So the stand of the port is vibrant to the economy. And the number of youths that are working at the port, because the port is so big that the operation is divided into different departments. Right now, like I said, our plan is to capacitate the port in terms of, let's say, to computerize the port. Yeah, that is part of the plan.
And also expand.
Yes, the expansion is part of that. Yeah. To expand the container terminals. To expand the port so that we can have as much volume of cargo as possible. To expand our jetty, that is part of our plans. In fact, even the head office of the port will be moved from there, so that we have more space for stocking containers.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Those are some of the major plans, and also one of the biggest plan also is the dredging of the entry channel of the port. The entry channel, because this is just around the River Gambia. So we realize that around Bakau and coming in, this area is believed to be having a lot of sand deposits, and it needs to be dredged, removal of those sand, so that the bigger vessels that are coming from other parts of the world will call the port of Banjul.
What are some of the constraints Gambia Port Authority is encountering at the moment?
Some of the concerns that GPA is facing, like some of the plans we have in place, like the expansion. The expansion is one of the major concerns, because the port needs more space as the volume of cargo is increasing on daily basis. Now you know that the world is operating on containerization. Most of the cargo that comes do not come in bulk, but we have more of containerized cargo that are coming or calling the port of Banjul. So the biggest constraint we have is space and our jetty landing site. The vessels where they should berth need to be more expanded so that we can handle more and more vessels at one time.
Can you give me a breakdown of some of the things that GPA has achieved as an institution?
Thank you very much. The Gambia Ports Authority, one of the achievements we have is trying to be able to capacitate the institution in terms of equipment that can satisfy our customers. Customer satisfaction.
What are some of those equipments?
We have restackers. These are machines that stack the container from the vessel or from the trucks to their actual stacking areas. You understand? So the achievements of the port cannot be overemphasized. Looking at it from the corporate social responsibility, because the Gambia Ports Authority is given some responsibilities in time to fulfill by the government. Like, for example, trying to sponsor students to go to school. We have achieved that in trying to come up with a project that we call OPES, Operation, Promote Excellence in the Sciences. And also trying to satisfy our customers in terms of protecting their cargo. That is very important, because people should have confidence in you that when they send their cargo, it should not be tampered.
And also the building of the J22 terminal. Yes,
the J22 terminal, like I said, is the expansion that we did 2015. That is expanding the port, containerized terminal.
That's so also a very big achievement.
So it's a major achievement, and up to now we are looking up to expanding more. So there are many achievements.
Thank you very much. The Gambia Ports Authority does not hesitate to build the capacity of its staff. Apart from that benefit, do you have more for them?
Yeah, when it comes to the staff, the GPA, for me personally will say, what GPA is capable of doing for its staff, for me personally, I don't see other institutions that can do that in terms of not only capacity building, but your health is one of the most fundamental. Because GPA will ensure you as a staff take off your medical welfare, your wife's medical welfare, and 4 of your dependents, your dependents' medical welfare.
Thank you for elaborating on that portion. I was made to understand that Gambia Ports Authority was funding some personal projects of former President Yahya Jammeh. How was this happening?
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult when you find yourself engulfed with a system that is so, let's say, dictatorial in terms of telling you do this, but it all boils down to the mode of appointment. I'm not politically appointed. I'm a technocrat, and I'm expected to be professional in whatever I do. With the likes of Yahya Jammeh, if he appoints you, he single-handedly appoints you, and with his appointment, he's expecting something from you. That is why some of his managing directors, how many managing directors does he appoint within a particular short period of time? It's up to 5 or 6 managing directors in his tenure as president. So if he appoints you and you are not giving him what you expect, at the end of the day, you find your way out.
But how was this? How was this funding happening?
I get to understand most of his transactions through the commission that is going on. GPA is the one that constructed the terminal that is just opposite the R22.
R22.
That building, that terminal, that pavilion, I call it.
Yeah.
The pavilion is constructed by GPA.
GPA.
That pavilion is constructed by the Gambia Ports Authority. So. And like I said, that is going to be considered under each corporate social responsibility, because that area is under BCC. And let me tell you, up to date, as I'm speaking, it is GPA that is managing that place. We employ, cleaners and security to that effect of the pavilion.
Is that
the new dispensation?
Is that the responsibility of Gambia Ports Authority?
It is
to build the place, and also to provide people to make sure the place is clean. Is that the responsibility of GPA?
It is the responsibility of BCC.
So what is GPA doing to stop that? To make sure.
Well,
What is GPA doing to stop that?
Like I said, you know, it all started from Jammeh era.
But it has to stop now. Jammeh is no more here.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, you know, the pavilion was directed by the then president for Gambia Ports Authority to construct it. Do you understand? And GPA constructed it. We can understand that the government want you to contribute in one way or the other in trying to fulfill one demand they did from you, which they need from you. But after constructing, that venue or premises is under Banjul City Council. So if there should be any management, it should be the responsibility of BCC. We have up to 50-something staff there who are managing the place.
And the Gambia Ports Authority is paying all those.
We are the one fully responsible of that place. That's what I'm
saying. Are
saying.
those people staff of Gambia Ports Authority
they are
or staff
under
of
our payroll?
Which means they are staff of Gambia Ports Authority.
They are full-fledged staff of GPA, as I'm speaking to you. So
interesting.
We are the one managing that place.
Okay. In this case, who is to be blamed? Is it Jammeh or the then managing directors of Gambia Ports Authority?
I guess, me personally, both parties need to be blamed. Yes, both parties, because you cannot put the blame on only Jammeh. You as an individual, you have your responsibility. So your position is not to be political as an MD of a parastatal. You are to serve the institution and the public at large. But if you feel you are political, he will use you for his political gains.
Okay.
And this is what has happened.
Thank you very much. Approximately, how much do GPA make per day? From the ferry services from other areas.
For my finance director.
You are the spokesperson of GPA, honestly, and I expect you to answer that question because you should be the mouthpiece, you should be the defender of the institution.
Yes.
So we need to know how much GPA is actually making per day.
One thing I will tell you is, for us as an institution, the port is more of relying on the vessel that call the port of Banjul. That is why the port is making money. You know, because we as a port work with other stakeholders.
But per day,
do you understand?
Approximately, how much do you make?
If I give a few, I can make it.
Approximately.
Because I cannot if I give that, I can make a big blunders. And if you need the actual information, I can find it out for you.
I will like that.
Yes,
it's needed.
But right now, if I only give you approximately, this is what we you know, because sometimes you can have one vessel, you can have two vessels, three vessels, it depends. So if I say approximately this is what you make a day, and I consult the finance director, he can tell me maybe it's wrong. And, you know, it will be difficult to give wrong figures.
Yeah. Is it true that GPA, most especially its ferry services, is getting destroyed by corruption and bribery? Is this true?
Yeah, I cannot confirm that it's true. Ferry services is a subsidiary of the port, like I told you earlier. We as a port are the one who are supervising the operation of the ferries. The ferries economy rely on the port. The ferries is not operating on profit per se making.
Yeah.
Looking at the ferry operation from here to the among all the 8 crossing points, the major crossing point is Banjul Bara.
But my question is,
I'm coming down.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay. Now, when you look at it, you know, when you talk about corruption, it depends. If you wanna cross and meet a particular security, you call him aside because you are in a haste and give him something. You yourself, who are doing it, is corrupted. Because the person who is making you corrupt is corrupted himself, because he is the one creating the gate for you.
Yeah.
So it will be difficult for me to say that you know, they are corrupted. No, you know, because the people are the one who make them to be, if they are. But I cannot confirm that.
If they are.
Yes.
You cannot confirm that.
I cannot.
Okay, then we will try to see what is going to happen about that. Perhaps in our subsequent discussions, you'll be able to confirm it to me.
Very well.
I want us to switch our gears to the Banjul Bara proposed bridging project that was recently announced by the President of the Gambia, Adama Barrow. This is a very important thing that I want us to discuss about. Do you think it's necessary to have a bridge between Banjul and Bara at the moment?
As far as the port is concerned, this issue of the bridge is a political statement made by the president. And for us as a port, I don't think we have much say because we work under the Ministry of Works. The minister will be in a better position to answer that. If I'm to answer that, I'm answering in my own opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not answering that in my capacity as the PRO of the port.
No, but in your capacity as the PRO of the Gambia Ports Authority, I think you need to know that because you work there and you really need to know if it is necessary to have a bridge there or not.
Yes, when you look at the movement of people, people normally get stranded there because the ferry operates with engines. And engines are not predictable.
Which means if you put in a bridge there, that would make the movement of...
Let me come.
Okay.
The engines operate, the engines are not predictable. You can be flying, the engine have problem. Okay, as a government, from the central government level, the president and his cabinet deem it fitting to ease the movement of people across. Do you understand? Because today, one of the biggest connections between Gambia and Senegal is the crossing point.
Yeah.
And today, as we are speaking, the Trans-Gambia is under construction. The Trans-Gambia Bridge is under construction, which is going to be completed 2019, as the president already declared. So if the president feels it necessary again, apart from Trans-Gambia, is Banjul Bara, which is the biggest constraint. Sometimes, you know, as I said, you can come and find the ferry having breakdown. So, sustainability, when it comes to, if you look at it, if you are going to look into that, you don't look at it from one side.
Yeah.
The bridge is very good for the country.
Yeah.
But when the bridge comes, what economic contribution will it make to the country?
Yeah.
That is what is more important to look at.
Is the idea welcomed by Gambia Ports Authority?
Right now, it is not table. It's not yet discussed. As far as I'm concerned, it's yet to be discussed because it is, like I said, it is a political statement from the president, and it is like a decision. Like I said, we are working under the Ministry of Works. If the Ministry of Works, you know, uploaded the project, we as a port, we are operating on our own. We are not directly on the central government. Our ferries will be there until when we will be asked to stop or whatever. But even Trans-Gambia, we will continue operating our ferries. We are a government, you know, created department. We are a parastatal. So if the project of the bridge is there, that doesn't stop us from operating. It depends on how the bridge will be constructed. Yes. It depends how the bridge will be constructed.
For far too long, we've been hearing about the breakdown of ferries at Gambia Ports Authority, and I think is, you know, long overdue for the authority to work over this. What is wrong?
Right now, the ferries problem, the authority is trying to quell it down. One of the constraints that we were facing before was, you know, ferries having engine problems, ferries, one ferry plying whatever. For the past, you know, we have, you know, changed the engines of Johe. You know, the summer ferry is also, the engine has been changed to new. Because ferry is not the body looking good, but the engines. And recently you have seen the Kunta Kinte ferry also plying. And when Kunta Kinte came, what we were experiencing is the siltation. And siltation used to come when there is low tide. Do you understand? And the ferry can only apply when there is high tide. Now all those problems are now overcome because we have invited a dredging company that is right now dredging the ferry landing site, both Banjul and Bara, and even the port vessel landing site will all be dredged to avoid the ferry operating on low tide, high tide. The ferries can operate on either conditions without any problem. Because
are you, on behalf of Gambia Ports Authority, are you promising the people of the Gambia that they would not be encountering, you know, ferry problems like before?
I am telling you that as far as GPA is concerned, the previous constraints that the ferry used to be facing now are overcome.
Is this a promise?
I cannot tell you 100% they will not, but I'm telling you 85% problems are overcome. And now, as far as we are concerned, as far as the crossing is concerned, the authority is working on getting another very good ferries, new ones that will be planned. So, like I said, it depends on how the president's pronouncement of the construction of the bridge will happen. But we are working towards making sure that our esteemed customers, who are the Gambian people, are satisfied in terms of the crossing. We are trying our best, and the customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Presently, Kunda Kinde is plying no problem, and Kanila is plying no problem. Johe, they are changing the engines, new ones, so that you can join the
What about Bara?
Bara, that one is outdated. It's out.
Bara is out of the business.
It's out, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Before coming to the conclusion of our today's session, I would want you to send your final message to the public out there.
Thank you very much, Sultan, for inviting me here. On behalf of the Managing Director, Gambia Ports Authority, Mr. Abdullah Tambiru. He is an economist. His specialized is, chartered accountancy. He is trying a lot in trying to recover the economy of the port, to make sure that the port comes back to its normal footing. And we also thank God that the previous government and the present one are different in terms of, condition in the port. The present government allow the managing director and his entire management to manage the institution for the best interest of the country, and they are doing that through the cooperation of its boards. So we are trying our best, and we want the general public to also understand the Gambia Ports Authority is one of the most, secure ports in terms of securing the cargo, in terms of, security of piracy. We have never experienced piracy, which is one of the biggest challenges of most ports, and we are trying our best to encourage the government and motivate them more to do the expansion, so that more and more cargo will be handled. More and more vessels landing site will also be expanded, so that we will run away. For the side of the ferries, we are encouraging the customers to cooperate with us, because we are trying our best to make sure that we meet their demands. Even if the operation is supposed to close by 10, depending on the demand, we allow it to continue. And you know what it means to operate night time. It's not easy. So it's all boiled down to hard work, and the staff of the authority are operating in an operational institution. Very, very risky in terms of the job. But whatever it takes, it is national service, and we are trying to our best to satisfy our customers and the Gambian populace at large. And since it is a public institution, we as an authority will ever be ready to ensure what is good for this country is what is supposed to be done. So I thank your medium for giving such a platform to at least speak some few things about the port. And I will tell you that also the port, throughput for the quarterly report of 2018 has increased. When you look at it, we have almost, let's say, the port has grown. It's the growth of the traffic in terms of the number of tons the port receive has increased to from 655,152 metric tons to 691,164 metric tons, 2018 quarterly.
That's a big achievement.
Yeah. So our traffic volume is increasing, depending on the vessel.
Oh, you mean the traffic volume?
Yes. The import is increasing.
Yep.
Although the export is, the export and import are the ones we compare. But the Gambia import more than it export.
Yeah.
So we rely more on import than export. So I am telling you that our import in terms of metric tons, compared to 2017, 2017 it was 655,000. And in 2018 quarterly report is 691,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so the business executive are building more confidence for this country.
Yeah.
And they are importing more now.
Thank you very much.
So
thank you very much.
I'm very glad for your interview and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Viewers, that was the public relation officer of Gambia Ports Authority, Momodou El Sanyang. Indeed, it was an interesting interview. Thank you for joining us. This is the Watotijay Show, and this is your presenter, Momodou Jammeh. Do not forget to click a like on our Facebook page and equally subscribe to our YouTube channel. Watotijay. Thank you for joining us.